Voiceover is everywhere, and you hear it every day. From radio.
Number one for New Country 96.3 Hawkeye in the morning.
To TV.
Alpha, Readers Escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
To movies.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
To animation.
And games, Spider-Man!
And so much more.
I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Welcome to episode 25.
Welcome to Who Did That Voice, the show where we take an in-depth look at the world of voiceover, including movies, TV, animation, and more. And now, here's your host, Trenton Larkin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my tribute episode featuring the legendary actor Alan Young. Alan was born in Northern England in 1919 to father John Young and to mother Florence Pinckney, who were both of Scottish descent. When Young was a toddler, his father moved their family to Edinburgh, Scotland, which is where young Alan picked up his Scottish accent. Then, when he was about 6 years old, Young's father moved their family to Canada. As a boy, he suffered greatly from severe asthma, which kept him bedridden for long periods of time. So to pass the time while he was in bed, he would listen to the radio. Listening to the radio inspired Young, so much so that he wanted to pursue a career in acting for himself and be on the radio. By the age of 13, Young had become a radio performer, and by age 17, he was writing and performing in his own radio show for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. His show was broadcast in the United States and led to an invitation to New York, initiating Young's career as an all-American boy despite the fact that he had non-American origins. Young became so popular on American radio from 1944 to 1949 with his Alan Young radio show, but as things tend to do, the popularity of the show declined over the years and eventually was canceled. At this point, Young decided to put together a comedy act and tour the U.S. theater circuit. After his travels came to an end in 1950, Young wrote a television pilot for CBS all about his time touring the U.S. theater circuit. The pilot Young wrote then led to the creation of a new show called The Alan Young Show. It was this show that earned Young his star on the Walk of Fame, as well as a couple of Emmy Awards. A weekly show sure takes a lot out of anyone, and it did for Young as well. He was writing and performing in his own show, and over a 3-year period caused the quality of the show to decline. Shortly thereafter, Young left the show, and this ultimately led to its cancellation. Due to the popularity Young had in radio and television, he was able to establish a film career for himself that started in 1946. Two of the most notable films are Tom Thumb from 1958.
You know, Queenie, if only there weren't this barrier between us. You being an immortal and I a mere unworthy mortal.
There needn't be a barrier, would he?
You mean I can be immortal too?
The other way around.
You can become immortal. Well, what's stopping you? What do you have to do?
It isn't what I have to do. It's you.
And The Time Machine from 1960, where he co-starred with actor Rod Taylor.
Why this preoccupation with dying?
I prefer the future.
I don't much care for the time I was born into. They call upon science to invent new, more efficient weapons to depopulate the earth.
I agree, George. But here we are, and we have to make the best of it.
You may have to. I don't.
When it comes to time, we are prisoners. The fourth dimension is as real and true a dimension as any of the other three. I intend taking a journey into the future.
You're not seriously saying you can't do it. How are you going to get back?
It's a risk I'm prepared to take.
If that machine can do what you say it can, destroy it. Destroy it, George, before it destroys you.
Then shortly after his film career started taking off, Young landed a role in a TV show called Mr. Ed, which aired in 1958, where he played one of his best-known roles as Wilbur Post.
Darn that horse.
Oh, morning, Wilbur.
Never mind that. I'm tired of you beating me to the morning paper. I like to read it with my eggs.
I like to read it with my hay.
But when you get finished with the paper, nobody else can look at it.
Say, Wilbur, get a load of this story. Here at the bottom of the page in the corner.
Little old lady leaves cat $50,000. Oh, that's silly.
What do you mean, silly?
What's a cat going to do with $50,000?
Well, he won't have to chase mice in his old age.
That's true. He could buy himself 40 or 50 cows, have a lifetime supply of milk.
That cat's got security, which is more than I've got.
If it'll make you feel any better, if anything happens to me, Carol will take care of you.
Yeah, suppose she marries a horse hater.
Oh, she will. Carol only marries nice people.
Wilbur.
What?
Am I mentioned in your will?
Now, wait a minute, Ed. No horse gets better care than you do. You get the finest hay, the best carrots, and something else. Last night I went out and I spent $5 on you for these special mineral tablets. Supposed to be good for your coat.
Well, I'm not worried about my health. It's your health I'm worried about.
Come on.
No, thanks. I'm a horse, not a guinea pig.
Carol finds out I've wasted $5 on these, she'll kill me.
And then marry that horse hater.
She will not marry a horse hater.
In 1986, Young voiced Hiram Flaversham in Disney's The Great Mouse Detective.
You know, Daddy, this is my very best birthday.
But I haven't given you your present yet.
What is it? What is it?
No, close your eyes. Oh, no peeking now.
Oh, Daddy, you made this just for me? You're the most wonderful father in the whole world.
He also provided the voice of Scrooge McDuck for Disney from 1974 to 2016, voicing this iconic character for over 40 years. Young was the first actor to voice Scrooge McDuck with a genuine Scottish accent. Two of the productions Young voiced for Scrooge McDuck were that of Mickey's Christmas Carol from 1983.
It's just another work day, and any jackanapes who thinks else should be boiled in his own pudding.
But, sir, Christmas is a time for giving, a time to be with one's family.
I say bah, humbug.
I don't care. I say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Well said, Master Fred.
Cratchit, what are you doing?
I was just trying to keep my hands warm, sir.
And what are you doing here, nephew?
I've come to give you a wreath and invite you to Christmas dinner.
Well, I suppose you're going to have plump goose with chestnut dressing?
Yep.
And will you have plum pudding and lemon sauce?
Yeah, boy.
And candied fruits with spiced sugar cakes?
Yeah, will you, Tom?
Are you daft, man? You know I can't eat that stuff. Here's your wreath back. Now out, out, out! Bah! Humbug!
Merry Christmas!
And a bah humbug to you.
And DuckTales, which aired from 1987 to 1990.
Morning, Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, so there you are, Gladstone. Right on time. I like punctuality. And a free newspaper. Thanks.
Still a cheapskate, I see?
Bite your tongue, lad. I'm simply thrifty. A quality you could work on a wee bit.
I don't need thrift. I've got luck.
Money will get you through times of no luck, my boy. Careful with those things, Launchpad. They're priceless.
Worthless is more like it. Yeah, this stuff is all cracked.
Aye. Have you already forgotten what I taught you about successful importing?
No, Uncle Scrooge. One man's junk is another man's antique.
600 brass toothbrushes.
Check.
Ow! Check!
4 dozen cracked vases.
Check. Here's the last one, Uncle Scrooge.
50 rusty door chimes. Check.
We're all packed, Uncle Scrooge.
And I couldn't have done it without you, lads. You're priceless. Let's shove off. We've got to get these goods back to Duckburg before the grand opening of my new department store.
Young even had the rare treat of voicing both Mickey Mouse and Merlin the Magician on one occasion in the Disneyland record album, an adaptation of Dickens' Christmas Carol performed by the Walt Disney Players. I hope you've enjoyed this tribute episode to actor Alan Young. I do these episodes to honor those who have gone before us so that their memories may live on forever and the joy they continue to bring us long after they are gone. We'll see you next time on Who Did That Voice? Hey everyone, and thanks so much for listening to today's episode of Who Did That Voice? If you enjoyed today's episode, please check us out online on all social media platforms at Who Did That Voice and on YouTube at Who Did That Voice 24. Also, remember to check out our website, whodidthatvoice.org. Again, that's www.whodidthatvoice.org. Thank you to all my listeners out there. I just wanted to say, if you want to partner with Who Did That Voice, just telling your friends and family about us is the best way to share the show with others, and or leaving us a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast from. The third and final way is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Who Did That Voice.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time for more discoveries on Who Did That Voice.